Welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, the gentleman you're seeing on your screen right about now, his name is Douglas Chambers, right? He was the focal point of the recently concluded Tesha Miller trial, right? He was struck down on June the 27th, 2008, right at the front of the JUTC bus depot at Spanish Town. Most people who from that side probably know it. It's by Twickenham Park, right? Now, during the trial, Brother Rat, more popularly known as Ratty, insisted that the hit on Douglas Chambers was actually a contract work. And I'm not talking about no road works or no house building, right? And even the sister of the of Mr. Douglas Chambers, right, a lady by the name of Trisha Chambers Forrester, came out and said there will be no closure until the people who actually paid for Douglas to get taken out get catch. There will be no official closure. Now remember, the original argument was that Douglas Chambers or Tesha and Klansman did a try extort JUTC, and Douglas Chambers decided to say him not take that shot, and that is why he got taken out. Now, I remember thinking to myself, if Klansman had gotten to the point where they were so bold to try and extort the government bus system, right, and not only that, but to take out the chairman of the said bus system, right, the only way he could pull a stunt like that and keep him head on him body is if there is some high level at the very top corruption, right? Because normally anytime a 90 octane start to meddle at that level and start to provoke those kind of people, that's normally when them get pushed out. So the whole extortion thing did always sound kind of sketchy. But then I was thinking, I mean, we're talking about badness here, and badness isn't always logical. But when it came out that it could possibly be a contracted, and then the sister came out and said, listen, she want to know who pay for him, pay for the hit. I started thinking to myself, you know, why hasn't there been any real investigation into what could possibly have caused Douglas Chambers to get to lose his life like that? For somebody I will go as far as to pay to take out the chairman of the JUTC. Now, just like that, people, because my subscribers are not the normal subscribers. I'm talking about my loyal subscribers here, not the, because a lot of people follow me just because them can't, just to click the dislike button, right, and wait for you to say something so that them can run in. That's about maybe 20% of my subscriber base, but I have a very loyal subscriber base, and they send me some things sometimes that make me think to myself, Jono, right, these people are on a whole different level. Because just as I was scratching my head about the whole Douglas Chambers thing, right, his sister came out and said it on December the 7th, right, which is, by the time you're hearing this, you probably hear this on the Monday. December 7th is this Saturday, right, Saturday gone. I got an email from someone sending me a link to an old story about a very, interesting case that Douglas Chambers was going through. People, I'm going to read you the story, right? And then I want you to just keep this in mind, that at this level, right, just know that anything can go on. So listen to the story, people. You may remember the whole FinSac Commission of Inquiry. Yeah, I know people are like, well, FinSac, that's still about? Yes, remember that? I'll know it not done, right? One of the reasons why it's not done is because government cannot, apparently, either cannot or don't want to provide more funding for the Commission of Inquiry finish up. And in my opinion, there's some things involved in FinSac that the system just don't want to come to the front. So that is why from them time until now, I'll know FinSac can done. People, FinSac was set up in which year? 2008. The same 2008 was when Douglas Chambers dropped out. Hold on. Before you go any further, keep listening now. During the FinSac Commission of Inquiry, Some documents from Douglas Chambers himself actually end up in the inquiry. What were those documents about? Right, I'm going to put it on your screen, right? And if you can't read it, don't worry, I'll read it out to you right now. Right. Now, Douglas Chambers alleged in some letters that he was fired by the Jamaica Redevelopment Foundation, JRF, minutes before he was to testify in a suit he filed against PricewaterhouseCoopers, alleging fraud and negligence on the part of the former receiver of thermoplastics. People, it goes on. The letter claimed that Chambers, that's Douglas Chambers, was given his termination notice after he refused to accept an offer of US $500,000 from PricewaterhouseCoopers as a settlement regarding this same fraud case. People, I could do some quick maths. 500,000 US dollars. I could work out the US at 135. That's about 67.5 million Jamaican dollars. That is what they were willing to give Douglas Chambers to settle. $500,000 US to settle. Now, if you know anything about these business, these kind of lawsuits, when a business decides they want to settle with you, and for that amount, it probably means if you go court, you stand to gain a whole lot more. People, Douglas Chambers was involved or was about to take part in a huge case against these people, right? And then following on the rest of the letter, the rest of the story in the Greener, it says, and I quote, according to the termination letter prepared by JRF, Chambers was fired because he failed to provide relevant documents to the company, end quote. So Chambers is saying, Douglas Chambers was saying that he got fired, right, because literally minutes before he was to step in and testify in a suit against PricewaterhouseCoopers about this fraud thing, them sack him, right? Then they must say the reason why Chambers get fired is because he failed to provide relevant documents to the company. Okay, then if they thought they fired Chambers for a justifiable reason, why were they willing to settle for $500,000 US? People, this is why this thing is getting interesting. Now, of course, people are going to say, you're going like you're a judge, jury, and lawyer. We know how the simpletons work. YouTube is infested with simpletons, unfortunately. People, I'm just putting this out there so you can scratch your head and scratch your chin. If you have a beard, scratch it too. Right? $500,000 US. And it just so happened that Tesha Miller, well, now that he's been found guilty, you can't even say allegedly anymore because according to the courts, it goes so. Somebody with very deep pockets managed to convince Klansman, right, to take out the chairman of the JUTC. That can't be a regular hit. And it can't be a regular money neither. People, you have to understand, you know. For make even the biggest bodies, 87 and 90 octane, pull out certain hit, your pockets have it deep like a submarine. You can't bring no 1 million and 2 million to take out certain people at this level. The people who sent this hit had a very large budget. Now, of course, according to Ratty, Tesha get paid for do the hit, and Tesha send Blackman actually pull the trigger. Now, of course, Blackman beat the case, right? He was found not guilty, but then Tesha was found guilty of accessory, right? In other words, that him helped set it up, right? Now, people, again, just keep this in mind. FinSac, which still hasn't been concluded to this day, you hear what year FinSac was set up? In 2008, people. We're going into 2020 now, and I know it can't done, right? And the commission was mandated to consider and find out the cause of the huge financial sector meltdown in the 1990s, right? And to examine the appropriateness of the actions taken by FinSac in dealing with delinquent borrowers. People, this is high level stuff, big time stuff. So when the government says, oh, them can't bother put no more money to fund it, in my opinion, it's because them don't want the real truth to come out. Look how much inquiry come after this and come and gone. Even West Kingston inquiry come and gone. And FinSac inquiry, I'll know it can't done. Because this is high level stuff, people. You know what kind of acting a deal at this level now. My subscribers know what kind of acting would I pull off something like this. We're talking about 1/16s. A matter of fact, this is the perfect crime linking all three. The 1/16, pay the 90, and the 90 send the 87 for match the works. Right? Now again, people, I'm just putting this out there so you can scratch your chin. Right? And scratch your beard. Right? Douglas Chambers, the person or the people who actually sent him or who sent Klansman to take him out have never been caught. Their names have never been mentioned. They've never been trial. Right? So it just goes to show you. The 87 and the 90, well, black man get it, but those two, them end up get thrown before the courts and get them day in a court. But who has not set a single day in court yet? Who has not been thrown into the spotlight? Whose name we don't know? Whose face we don't know? The 1/16. People, this case goes much deeper than we know. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Please like, comment, and share the video. Bless.